Time to wrap up Leeds. Let's do the final episode of Leeds. This is CEX Leeds Part 2. Welcome to PS Too Many Games.
PS Too Many Games.
Welcome to PS Too Many Games, the channel that asks the question, is shovelware shuffleware if you actually enjoyed the game? Maybe. In all seriousness, welcome to PS Too Many Games. This is part 3 of a trilogy of Leeds episodes. This is the second CEX Leeds episode. The two smaller CEX stores in Leeds. I forgot what it's called. I think one's White Rose. One's White Rose, which is in the White Rose Mall in Leeds. And the other one's like in the outskirts of Leeds in like a little complete random place. I've forgotten because it's been literally nearly 3 weeks now. Dave will put like the titles under here, hopefully, so what the titles of the CEX stores, because I've legit forgotten. Well, I forgot what the experiences was because Dave did a recording, so I don't know what you recorded. So hopefully there's some good stuff in there. If not, once again, get your pitchforks and torches and blame Dave. They're coming, Dave. In all seriousness, both CEXs were reasonably alright. Alright is the word. Alright is the word. White Rose, which was the more 8 CEX, was better for games, but that's also the CEX that had the God of War 2 Special Edition labelled, even though it was a Platinum version. So, meh. And the other store basically didn't have much in the way of expensive games. So I got the only 4 games they actually had that I needed, which is kind of shovelware, but that's the break sometimes. But in all, between obviously the gaming market, the first CEX in the centre, and these two, I did pick up about 26 to 27 games. So a very successful day for the collection. And if you do the mathematics, we're pretty much on 1401 right now. Why haven't they changed that? There's a couple of reasons why. And I've mentioned before, I'm in the process of moving things to another building while we're doing maintenance in this place. That's actually happened. Besides what you see behind me, nearly everything to the other side of the room is either empty, boxed up, or there's just nothing there. So what is my actual plan when we move location? So basically, smaller space means I can't have everything on display. There's going to be some stuff that is perfectly I'm going to put as much bubble wrap around this shit you will not believe. But I'm hoping to keep these two like they are, just put them in the van, obviously pick up the games, put them in the van and redo them again. But at the same time, because when we built these, the one mistake we and my brother made, and Aaron did say, my brother's Aaron by the way, did say this would happen, that we need to put middle supporting in the middle, and I went, nah, fuck it. No, he was right, we should. So we're going to put middle supports in, like, bit, and we're going to line it up so it holds, gives it more, like, strength. Because they've done a fantastic job, but who would have thought that, because each one of these doesn't weigh anything, you would have thought they'd be light as a feather. No, apparently they're not. Apparently combined they're a massive weight on these wooden boards. The hilarious thing is, obviously, it's because they're not thick. The thicker ones, and I'll show you this if I just scroll around right now. This is the only other stand I haven't done, and like you'll see some stuff because I'm moving stuff. This is the only other stand I haven't done yet, but you've noticed these are thicker boards and they're perfectly they're holding because obviously stronger, thicker boards, but obviously they've also got slight issues. They also have some cracks in them, so nothing's perfect anyway. So basically, why I'm bringing this up is while moving, I might take a week to move a couple of things. Well, I say a week. When we're in the final week of moving, because I moved quite a few things to the property right now. When we actually got the main stuff, I might take longer between episodes. You know what I mean? So the plan is when I'm in the moving, because I'm in the middle of a playthrough right now. The plan is to release that playthrough while I'm moving, so there's still stuff in there at the same time because real life comes first, guys. I'm sorry, real life does. But anyway, back to today. Both stores were fantastic. They really were in finding obscure shit. There's one thing I like to find at the moment is the really obscure shovelware games, which once again, I say it once a month, are actually harder than some of the rare expensive games are. So what we're going to do, we're going to throw into an ad break questionarium, or ad break as we do. Dave's going to pick it this time. We'll see what he picks this time, and we'll see on the other side.
We are Nintendo Ultimate TV Game System. We challenge all players. You cannot beat us. Aim your zapper gun. You cannot beat us. Even with your robot partner. You cannot beat us. Score 1 million. You cannot beat us. Discover new worlds. You cannot beat us. We are Nintendo. We challenge all players. You cannot beat us.
And we're back. Shocking choice, Dave. Who would have thought you'd chosen that one? Bearing in mind, I don't know what you've chosen, but
shocking choice.
So now let's go through the games. Usually I line it up to which games came from which store. But the ultimate truth is, today being recording is the 17th. It's been it's been 2 full weeks since that. And I've genuinely forgotten which games come from which store. I remembered for the main Leeds CEX store because they had a pile. But I've kind of intermixed these games. So we're just going to go through the 9 games one by one. And I can't attribute which one comes from which store, but I can roughly remember most of them. But anyway, let's go through them one by one. I'm getting a bit of... I haven't checked my last video, the first one. I'm hoping I haven't done this twice, but the first game on the list was Atlantis 3: The New World. I don't know if I actually bought that from the main store or didn't, or if it was the last week's game. If I didn't, I'm sorry, but the detail on the back's pretty good. And I'm actually curious how this game plays. No manual, sadly, but it's only like a £4 game, so I'm not entirely upset about that. My thoughts on this? It's not a game that screams play me, but it's not a game that I'm gonna look the other way on. So I might play it at some point. But as a game I needed, as a game for the collection, so I'm happy. Let's move on. Game number 2, another generic sports game. Obviously, it wasn't something at the back in the day. Superbikes 09. Now, you might think this is a very common game to find. It really isn't. It's actually kind of a hard game. The sizzling pound paid, was it worth it? Probably not. But I needed it. So it's worth having. For anyone who actually cares about Superbikes, Superbikes is like the tier 2 to MotoGP. If you're going to watch any kind of motorbike racing, MotoGP is the zenith. Superbikes is like second place. It's basically the championship to the English Premier League. It's a good watch, but when you watch it, it's like, yeah, they're good, but they're no MotoGP riders. Actually, saying the last 2 or 3 years, MotoGP's gone downhill because there's no like superstars anymore. They're all just boring, generic people. And anyone who likes anyone now, I'm sorry. It's just there's no Valentino Rossi's anymore. There's no Nicky Haydens, no Biaggi's. I miss that like golden period between like 2000 and 2015 of motorbike racing. It was good times. In game number 3, we're really getting shovelware now. Hasbro's Family Game Night. £2 paid. So apparently this is worth twice the amount of the Superbike game. Obviously you can see Mr. Potato Head pretty much in every like mini game. Why play this? Only if I'm forced to. I'm sure it was good back in the day for the kids, but obviously I'm no kid anymore. I mean, it's nice to add to collection, but I wouldn't call it the bright shining star of the visits to the Leeds. It was just there. You can tell I'm low energy, can't you? I mean, if you're in the mood for gambling, game number 4 might have your fix. Hard Rock Casino. Because nothing screams out fun times like pretend gambling on a computer game made 20 years ago. In all seriousness, I've never seen the appeal of like fake gambling games like this. But Jesus nearly dropped it. But some people must do. It's what they must have sold reasonably decently because at least sold 1 copy apparently. I've got it, and I'm assuming there's other copies out there. But it is about shovelware as it gets. It's not quite Cal Vorderman Sudoku shovelware, but it's definitely like matching like Pit Funnels level Sudoku-ware. In all seriousness, I've got to do like a chart of like zenith of shovelware to like bottom shovelware and what qualifies for shovelware. I'm gonna have to do that now. I'm gonna have to. The last of the shovelware, and this one scares me a little. So on the way back, knowing that I bought this game in the shop, for like a good hour, Dan and Dave were basically telling me that I had to do a playthrough of this. And if not, they're going to just keep barraging me until I do a playthrough of this game. It's not happening. There's no way I'm going to play Dora the Explorer Saves the Mermaids. In all seriousness, I think there's like 3 Dora Explorer games. They're so hard to find. I don't want to find them, I'll be honest. But I found one of them, £2 played. I'm never going to... Dan's going to keep barraging me with this. I know he is. He's that kind of person. I understand that Dora the Explorer was quite popular with young people many, many years ago, but I was already well past in my teenager's adult time for that stuff. So I know nothing of Dora the Explorer, and I hopefully will never will. Game number 5, and generally the first game I bought from these 2 CEXs where I'm actually kind of curious. A-Train 6. Now, this is apparently a simulation game, railroad management, and urban development. Now, anyone who's played like Transport Tycoon back in the day, this actually looks kind of interesting. I mean, the graphics are obviously PS2 kind of shite, but I'm actually kind of curious about this because I love simulation games. So I was a massive fan of Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day. Anything where you can like build like theme parks and it's like chill, it's kind of relaxing and it's kind of enjoyable at the same time. So I might crack this in one day to see what it's like, but it won't be high on the list of priorities, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Game number 7, my curiosity is slightly piqued with this one because I legit had never heard of this game before. And I'm a massive wrestling fan since I was a boy. So when I saw quote-unquote WWC World Wrestling Championship, a PS2 game I never heard of, my curiosity was piqued. And reading the back and looking at the graphics, I'm happy I dodged this. I'm going to read this. I'm not going to be funny to this one. This is what Lizzie says. No noise, nothing. All of a sudden you hear the noise of a motorbike and bike speeds up to the ring. Another wrestler jumps off and attacks his opponent. The crowd go wild. Because that's how wrestling works, apparently. The referee tries to separate them in vain and needs help to get the job done. This is going to be one dirty wrestling match. Have you got what it takes to battle out with the pro wrestlers of WWC? I bet this game's fucking shit. But I'm going to try it now to see. But it looks shit. They're all fake wrestlers. Apparently in the past it was worth not $7.99 on promo. I had to pay £6 for this fucking game. The penultimate game in a way. It's a bit of a sad moment for me personally because one of my favourite jokes in my whole last year, I've done it 3 times, and this is the last time I can do it because this is the last game from this franchise that was on the PS2. So for the last time, sadly. I'm as poor and as stupid as you! That fucking South Park joke is literally one of my favourite jokes of all time. It's not true, obviously, but there's so offensive. Oh my god. In all seriousness, NASCAR 09, the last of NASCAR game, £6 paid. I think for all 4 NAS game cards combined, I paid a combined £25. I know NASCAR is quite popular in America, but it is, when you look at it, for 9 out of 10 of those tracks, they're just going really fast and then just turn to the left, about 200 laps. I understand you can see all the cars, but watching that for 500 laps sounds fucking tedious. And I'm so sorry if I'm offending any hardcore American NASCAR fans out there, but it's just not my cup of tea. And people say, well, Formula 1 is going around the circuit 60 times. Yeah, but that race only lasts about 2 hours. NASCAR sounds like it lasts for a fucking eternity. But sadly, that's the last time we'll be going fast and going to the left. Sad times. The last game of the Leeds trip entirely, and probably the best one out of the 2 stores. Never tried this before, but it looks quite fun. Spawn Armageddon, £15 paid. Once again, this is kind of fun, and it's by far out of 2 stores the most expensive game, £15. Yeah, Spawn's one of those comic franchises that intrigues me, but I never actually read. It looks cool, but I never got into it, so I have to get see some backstory before I play that game, because I'm intrigued, and I might do a playthrough for the channel, but until I know what the hell it's all about, I'm not touching it. Anyway, there's the 9 games from CEX, based in 26 games combined from Leeds. Leeds was fantastic, it really was. Next episode I'm going to go, because I mentioned in the Leeds game back, next episode I'm going to go into so there was a bad moment today. I'm going to do it next time when it's better to do, because I'm still waiting to see if anything happens. But yeah, we'll split that next time, but generally speaking it was a good day all around. I enjoyed hanging around with Dan and Dave. And I'm almost certain we're going to go to Doncaster in May, because why not? It's a little closer than Leeds is, but a good half an hour to 45 minutes closer. All win for that. There is a gaming convention, I can't remember what the name is, in Nottingham this year that I'm probably going to go to because it looks pretty good. Anything in a good radius I will attend if I get a day off. That's the plan this year. Obviously, car boots I mentioned, I've got to get a little more proactive on car boots because they're reasonably close to home. Just got to find one that actually is decent. I had to tag along one day with Dan because his one apparently, the one he goes to mainly, is the best one. So we'll see. But anyway, that is the end of the CEX episode for Leeds. Leeds, very nice city. Had no problems. Very happy. Anyway, thank you for watching again, guys. Please comment and subscribe. Once again, going forward, I don't know how... There'll be at least 1 episode per week. Sometimes 2, but depending on how the move goes, there might be times I miss it. So, but I'm already halfway through a playthrough, so we'll see how it goes. Once I complete it, I can upload it. So that's all well and good. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening, guys. Stay safe. Bye. I have no fucking idea why I've gone for the OK fucking bonus. Fuck it. Goodbye.